So, hi everybody. I hope you realize you've been pulled into the presentation. I hope you've enjoyed the conference area. It's a bit unusual, but I hope you got used to the methodology of bopping into different rooms and you get to speak to some of the pictures. So, welcome. Welcome to the first virtual demo day for Xoogler founders in Europe. Amazing. Thank you so much for coming. Technology congregating hundreds of people at the click of a link. How easy was that? A lot of work in the background, but yes, hopefully it's worked. I'm Jenny. I've been at Google for 14 years, ultimately building Google's AI research offices across EMEA. But I had my own startup prior to that and just loved that sector. So like most long-time Googlers, it's a big step to leave the big G and a transition back into the real world. So, like many who have gone before me, I have been connecting with the Xoogler community for many years before I took the plunge to leave. So what is a Xoogler? Simply, we're ex-Googlers, united by a common experience and a passion to create impact. The Xoogler community is a rich vein of talented folks who've worked at Google and seen what technology and scale can achieve. And yet, they want more. So now I'm on gardening leave. I've jumped in the deep end to help other Xooglers who are starting new projects by spearheading this year's Xoogler Demo Day and bringing it to you virtually. So since you're here, you've probably had some contact with me, either directly or through our virtual platform, Remo. I'm so thrilled to be able to support these incredible startups and present them to you today. Each one is at a pivotal stage where funding can catapult them. And we hope you think so too. So let me introduce you to the European Xoogler Demo Day organizing team. Besides myself, there's Stefan. He has run several in-person demo days in Switzerland, and I have basically plagiarized all his work for this event, so thanks, Stefan. Rune, probably all of you know him. He has been the Xoogler European godfather, and he has basically got me on board to organize this demo day. Thanks so much for telling me I could do it and supporting me. Ashna has worked with Xoogler stateside, and she's now living in London, so she's basically added a lot of structure, expertise, and professionalism. And then Vanessa, she's joined from DeepMind. She's our secret sauce, providing connections and a lot of support. Thank you, guys. Okay, so globally, Googlers are a united force, almost 10,000 members, with a large and growing tranche of that total in Europe. We've been pleasantly astonished by the numbers and the quality of the startups emanating from founders previously at Google. For this event, we've had to turn down quite a few already, so we hope to run a few more virtual events in 2021. Our Xoogler community has many support networks, such as Xoogler School for developing skills, monthly get-togethers in various cities where lockdown permits, and investment funds, both inside Google and outside of Google. And of course, these pitch days when founders can potentially raise funds to expand. One area we're pleased to be investing in next is our Xoogler to Xoogler skills sharing network. So this is an example of where the Xoogler community builds upon itself. Within Google, we have G2G, which is a skills sharing initiative where Googlers exchange expertise, quid pro quo. So now harnessing Polymer, another Xoogler founded startup, which of course just happens to organize data and make it accessible, we're building out our own Xoogler to Xoogler skill sharing network. So Polymer happens to need data sets to practice on. Hopefully we can build and strengthen the Xoogler alumni community even more efficiently with the help of our ex-colleagues. Any Xooglers who are interested in being involved, please ping me afterwards. And if you look at this slide really carefully, you can see Rune's skill set. Is there anything he can't do? Okay, and for those investors who are interested, Polymer isn't currently fundraising, although they will be again this time next year. But do reach out to them if you have data that needs to be organized. They want to practice. Okay, so as you've seen in your email, this is the agenda for today. By the way, this is GMT if anyone's in Europe or in the States. Following my opening, we have 8 companies pitching their startup. These are very brief elevator pitches, shorter than usual, only 2.5 minutes each. So if you have immediate questions, you can add them to the right of the screen, up there where it's green. Okay, and that's when we're in presentation mode, and we encourage you to do so. Please do ask those questions. The questions can then be upvoted, so do play around with that feature. We'll see if it works well for us in this tool. If you don't get your question answered right there, the teams will be available at tables to discuss later on after the presentations end. After that's our keynote, where Rune interviews Mike McGraw. Mike works at Innovia Capital directly with Google's previous CFO, Patrick Shea. He'll be finding out how the investment scene has changed over the last 12 months. Gosh, it's been a real ride. This was taped also a few days ago, so no live questions on that one. Then we follow with the with the second 8 quickfire presentations before I release you all back into the conference room where you were before, and you can click into the rooms to chat directly with Xoogler founders. So just a quick note, the rooms are limited to 6 people, but most teams have folks on the floors above. So use the elevator feature on the left of the conference to navigate up and down. There should be people there to talk to you as well. So who's here? Who's in the room? Okay, I've been blown away. I thought we'd get 20 investors and hoped for about 10 founders. We've had 300 investors sign up. I know everyone won't be able to make it, but it shows the absolute interest there is and the current state of the market. There's such an appetite for startups to solve the new issues we find in this post-COVID world. So will startups provide the green shoots of recovery in 21 to 22? Certainly Eric Schmidt seems to think so with backing the new multi-billion-dollar European VC fund. Surely the time is now. Congrats to First Minute and Atomico, etc., by the way. Okay, so who is here? We have so many big brands here present. So we didn't have enough room on the slide for all your logos, I'm sorry, but there's some pretty big funds being represented. I'm not nervous at all. Okay, and in terms of the companies, these are the true stars of the show and the people who we all want to see. These are our Xoogler startups. Please be patient when they're presenting. This is a new virtual situation and it's quite new to all of us. But I'm honestly so proud to present so many of the most ingenious and fun companies that will make our lives more easy, fun, and rewarding. Okay, so Xoogler's have quite a legacy already. I want to show off a few of the companies that have made money previously. Many are now category leaders, including companies now worth $40 billion or leaders in what can only recently have seemed like extraordinary fields like autonomous vehicle space. So Nuno and Aurora, they're really doing well in that area. Xoogler's have had quite a track record, as you can see, in hitting upon success. We're hoping in this pitch day, you'll be able to spot the next global success, perhaps from within this bunch. So this slide shows a few successes that we've had. These are all within the last 2 or 3 years, and these are all within Europe. Big founders, people doing well. Pointy has actually been acquired back into Google, but that's not always the aim. There's definitely things that are happening, and hopefully we can see what's happening with these companies here today. So how can you help? How can you help build this ecosystem and support it? Well, come to our events. You can hear about them by signing up for monthly newsletters from Chris Fong. He's the leader of Xoogler globally. Just email me if you want his details. You can help build the community by volunteering to mentor teams. That's actually a great way to see what exciting startups are coming through, as well as being a jolly good thing to do. And of course, come to these events and maybe even spend some money. So enough about us. Let's get started with the main event and let's hear from the Xoogler startups that you came to see. The first one up today is the Portfolio Collective, and Ben Legg, who has been a COO at Google in Europe some years ago, is going to present this for you as well. Ben, do you want to put your camera on and your mic on? Fantastic. I'm going to turn mine off and leave you to it.
And share the screen. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. A Chrome tab. How's that, Jenny? Cool. Okay. So nice to meet you. My name is Ben Legg. I am the CEO and co-founder of the Portfolio Collective, which is the lifetime accelerator for portfolio professionals. Now, what is a portfolio professional, you might ask? First of all, portfolio means people have multiple sources of income instead of just one full-time job. And professional, meaning they have high skills, high earnings. This is basically the top end of the gig economy. And it's a big market. The OECD tells us that by 2030 or earlier, 50% of all adults will be portfolio workers. In our mind, that means our target audience is half of LinkedIn, which is about 350 million people globally. And portfolio professionals need help. I've met hundreds of them since April, and they have dozens, if not hundreds of questions, and we intend to help them with all of them in terms of setting up and sustaining a successful portfolio career. I'm lucky to have 3 amazing co-founders, and we have an additional team of 6 more, so 10 in total. We've had diverse careers, and we've all had portfolio professional experience, and we all love giving back and helping others. We're rolling out in 5 stages. Stage 1 is content, in which we demonstrate expertise and draw in traffic. Stage 2 is live learning and events, in which people sign up, join events, meet real humans, connect, learn, and say, I found my tribe. Stage 3, networking and community through the platform, so creating profiles, chatting, asking questions, forming groups, finding mentors, etc. Stage 4, marketplaces, in which we add additional value and find ways to monetize the audience, things like jobs boards. And stage 5, workflow software, in which we make people and teams and virtual companies more productive. Some really cool ideas there. There's been a lot of activity since July when we were founded, so we're only 5 months old, and it's generating results. Some of the results, we've had 11,000 unique visitors so far. 550 people go through one of the live events. We've got 300 highly active community members, really, really involved. And we've had 2,000 repeat visitors who spend over 30 minutes a week with us, which is a similar ballpark to LinkedIn. In terms of the investment opportunity, I've put in £100,000 of my own money so far. We're now looking for about £500,000. With that, we will optimize and improve and scale the tech stack with a whole load of really cool additions. And we'll scale the team and we'll do a full deep UK launch with overspill to the rest of the world, because that's what happens and it's happening already. We're looking to do a bigger raise mid to late 2021, something like £2 million. With that, in 18 months, we'll get to a revenue run rate north of £2 million a year, and lots of ideas on how to do that. I would love to take your questions.
Thank you, Ben. So we haven't got everybody using the tool yet, so definitely go over to the right and ask questions there. Ben will be available, and his team. He's got lots of people in his team that will be able to answer questions if you then move across to the conference area at the end of the pitches. One thing I'd love to know is, what do you want to hear from investors? What would you want to talk to them about in the conference area?
How fast we can scale. I think the timing is so good with helping people with portfolio careers. The reality is there just aren't enough full-time jobs. There's a white collar sort of bloodbath basically going on, and ways to scale faster would be one of my favorite subjects to discuss.
Amazing. Right, we've got a couple of questions here. How has the content been doing so far? How has the reach and engagement been for the content specifically?
So I'd say the content is doing very well, as in very low bounce rates, very high read rates, and then people go on to read other articles. SEO, not as good as I would like yet, because basically we've got some issues with site speed, and we need to get out and get more links from other sites. So we're kind of getting 50 to 100 visitors a day through SEO, which is okay, but it could be 500 to 1,000 with a few improvements. We know what we need to do, just take a few more weeks.
Excellent. And one final question, what kinds of ways can this be monetized?
So a bunch of ways. The one that we've tested and we're very confident of is people that are heavily involved can pay a monthly subscription, a bit like a LinkedIn premium subscription. So for things like to attend live events, maybe the ability to publish, form groups, run your own events. We've tested that at £35 a month, and the most engaged users pretty much all said yes. So that's one very tangible way. Other ways will be jobs boards or effectively job matching schemes, sponsorships. A lot of people think we're a lot bigger than we are already. I've had approaches from companies like Intuit already saying, how do I get to your audience? So I think there'll be a lot more of that. Xero would be another Starling bank. They just keep coming. So sponsorships, and obviously over time ads and other things too. But premium membership, job boards, and sponsorships would probably be the big three.
Fantastic. There are more questions there. Please do go and talk to Ben and his team afterwards. We'll need to move on to Tree App. So if we can have Jules Booker, who is one of the founders.
Hi.
Hello. So Tree App is a mobile app that enables anyone to plant a tree for free every day in less than a minute. And if you want to put your presentation up, Ben, if you can take yours down, I will leave you to it.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, well done.
Amazing. So, hey everyone, let's tell you a bit more about Tree App. So I'm Jules, I'm the founder of Tree App. And Tree App is a mobile app that enables anyone to plant a tree for free every day in less than a minute. So we identified two distinct problems. On the consumer end, a lot of people want to have an impact, but they have three main problems. They don't have the time, the money, or the know-how to do so. On the brands per side, a lot of brands want to advertise their commitment to sustainability because they are doing some things towards sustainability, but they're very much struggling to do so and to reach the right audience. So we created Tree App, an app which enables anyone to plant a tree for free every day in less than a minute by watching ads. So we're basically bridging marketing and sustainability, and we're connecting three main stakeholders: users, businesses, and NGOs. So how does it work? A user would get on the app and see a map of the world with different reforestation projects. In order to plant in one of those locations, the user will have to interact with a marketing campaign that will feature a brand. Once the user completes that campaign, which takes roughly about a minute, the brand featured will sponsor the planting of a tree for that user, creating a meaningful relationship between the two. The user can then go and visit the brand's website, potentially make a purchase, as well as track how much of their carbon footprint has been offsetted on a weekly, monthly, and yearly basis through the app. We launched in April 2020, and since then, we've managed to acquire over 20,000 users fully organically. We haven't spent a dime in marketing. We have been featured hottest app and app of the day on the UK App Store, as well as top ranked app on the Play Store. We have over 60 brand partners already, including the likes of Too Good To Go or The Protein Works, and we have a large commercial pipeline ahead. We're planting in 12 countries worldwide with 7 NGOs, and we've already planted over 150,000 trees. So we have a team of 15 people here in London, with the 3 co-founders being full-time. So it's Godefroy, Leo, and myself, and we all met during our studies at London Business School. So we're looking to raise £500,000 to accelerate our growth, and we'll be splitting this in 4 main areas: product, tech, sales, and marketing. This will get us to 100,000 active users by the end of next year, as well as 100K MRR in December 2021. Our goal is to become the go-to platform for environmental and social impact by enabling millions to plant trees. So get in touch and let me know if you have any questions.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jules. I'm not sure if this question was for you or for Ben last time. I'm trying to clear them, but that was wonderful. I would love this to be a fantastic global success. It's such a lovely idea. And it seems like there's a lot of engagement. Have you found that there's a lot of advertisers that are, I suppose, looking at the same sort of organic and vegan markets and basically the same sort of people that are coming through wanting to market on your tool?
Yeah, so we've as I mentioned, we already have over 60 brand partners on board. And what's interesting is that we're getting more and more inbound leads coming through. So we used to obviously reach out to a lot of companies to tell them about our products, and now we're getting massive brands, the likes of L'Occitane or Brewdog, those kind of brands actually reaching out to us because they'd like to reach out to our audience. So there's definitely been interest, and this will grow, as you mentioned, as businesses are becoming more sustainable and are venturing into more sustainable products as well.
Fantastic. A couple of questions there. What's your product impact roadmap beyond tree planting?
So obviously we've only been live 6 months. So we'd really like to get to a point where we can plant millions of trees per year before thinking about other types of impact. We have a lot of things in mind, a lot of products related to trees that we'll be rolling out in the next few months.
Yes.
We have also the opportunity the tech has been built so that we can easily implement a new source of impact, whether it is looking at, for example, ocean plastic, whether it is to look at other kinds of impact. I mean, really what we want to do right now is get the concept right with trees, implement all of those different products we have in mind, subscriptions on the user end, an e-commerce platform on the business front, and then we can think about other kinds of impact.
Fantastic. No, that's really cool. We're going to have to move on with the next one, but there's some great questions there. Please do bring these questions to Jules in the room thereafter. Thank you so much. If you turn your camera and mic off. Next, we have Atium. We have Mario Bertorelli, who's going to be presenting for us. There we go. So basically, for remote teams, Atium helps to foster trust and connection via social activities that are easily integrated into a busy working week. So let me see if we can see the slides coming up.
Yes, let me know if you can see them.
Fantastic. All right, speak to you soon.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mario, one of the founders at Atium, and we're solving remote work's biggest problem. When working remotely, lack of human connection is an overwhelming problem. 47% of remote workers say they seriously struggle with it, and remote managers report it as their #1 problem. Every remote work expert you will talk to will tell you that the solution is to be intentional in introducing regular social moments. But there are 3 practical challenges: figuring out what to do, building consistency, and ensuring impact. At Atium, we help remote team leads and HR managers to overcome these challenges. If as a team lead of a remote team, you don't know what to do in order to build connection, we provide a library of activities specifically designed for this purpose. If you're struggling with making time on a regular basis in your busy weeks to engage in social moments, we provide integrations with the most commonly used remote work tools, as well as timely reminders with the right activity. Finally, we ensure the impact of the activities via people metrics and analytics that you can find in our dashboard. We launched our private beta in August and got off to a very good start. We onboarded over 40 companies to our beta pilot, including 2 of the largest fully remote companies in the world, GitLab and TopTal. And we were also recently awarded by Running Remote as the hottest remote work startup of 2020. We have an experienced team with a good track record that has the right skill sets in order to turn Atium into a success. And we're also fortunate enough to have one of Europe's leading experts in remote work as an advisor, as well as Antler as an early investor. We're soon opening our pre-seed round, and we're looking for strategic investors that can help us by bringing their expertise and their funds into the company. We'd love to talk to you. You can either reach out to me by contacting me on the email, or we'd love to talk to you at our virtual table. Thank you. I'll reply to any questions now.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So there are some questions, but I think people have been putting them in the chat. If you look at where it says chat, then there's participants and then there's Q&A. So the questions go in the Q&A bit because then we can vote them up and down. But we do have some here. So what is the main objective of your data analysis? That's from Patricia Falco-Bacalli.
Yeah, so there's two aspects that we focus on. On one hand, there are some metrics related to the activities themselves. So that part is mostly in order to facilitate some gamification, in the sense that you can see, when you engage in the activities and how you progress. And then the second part is a little bit more linked to people analytics. So we try to also measure the impact of the activities, both on the, let's say, emotional status. So you can imagine a sort of weekly pulse where you can check how people feel, as well as conducting some studies a little bit more on items such as the trust in the team and how connected people feel to each other.
Awesome. One quick question then. What is the typical sales process and average order value?
Yeah. So for the moment, we decided to focus more on team leads. And our idea is to build these mostly as a product-led product, in the sense that we think the activities are quite attractive and interesting. They also, some of them are more like games. So our idea is to enter through that and then upsell and turn contracts into paid contracts from that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mario. We need to move on with the next one. Do ask any of these other questions. Mario and his colleagues will be in the conference area later.
Thank you.
Yeah, switch off your stuff. Fantastic. Okay. Okay, can we see if Julianne Sloan to present, and then we can go back. Hi, Julianne.
You're just for a second, so I guess everyone saw that.
Yeah. Thank you for being ready. Alessandro, if you can hear us, we will bring you up next.
Yeah, I'm live now. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Should we do you afterwards?
Yeah, it's fine. Julian, you can go first.
Brilliant. All right, 2 minutes.
All right, I'm sharing screen.
Julianne's from NOSA Data, and they help companies optimize their environmental, social, and governance strategy.
And can you see my screen?
There we can. Yeah, it's perfect.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. So I'm Julianne. I'm CEO of NOSA Data, and we simplify ESG for companies. And our vision of what we're doing is we want to show the world how companies interact with people and the planet. So we view it the same way that you can look up financial information about a company at your fingertips. We think you should be able to look up the non-financial information about a company. And this is becoming really, really important because companies that fail to meet the investor expectations on ESG risk losing access to capital markets. So currently, 91% of investors say that non-financial performance is critical in investment decision-making. ESG is part of a mega trend going on in finance. 24% of inbound investor questions are about ESG. And we've heard from potential clients that they get ESG questions at the beginning of their investor calls, not at the end. So these are things are what are their emissions rates? What is their workplace turnover? What is their staff diversity? And strong ESG disclosure can actually mean a 10% reduction in cost of capital. But the way companies are primarily solving this today is via emails and spreadsheets, and it just doesn't work. It's not efficient. So they feel survey fatigue. They have to respond to the rating agencies and investors. But with us, we give them a centralized ESG hub, and they get dynamic templates to the top frameworks. They're confused and spending a lot of time. They haven't needed to do this in the past. Well, we automate their data collection process, and they don't know where they stand compared to key peers in their industry. Well, we provide them peer benchmarking. And we make money, so we sell into the investor relations departments at companies where we think we can get $30,000 per year for just our MVP software, but we aim to land and expand to capture $50,000 to $100,000 per year per company. And this makes our market $3 billion in 2020, but given that ESG has had double-digit year-on-year growth for the last 4 years, we think it'll grow to $15 billion by 2025. We have a really healthy pipeline, so we actually built our product with 2 publicly listed clients. We have 6 really hot leads where we've had multiple discussions with them, and we have a growing community with more and more inbounds coming every day. So my background, I worked in fintech, and I also write a weekly ESG newsletter to over 700 experts. And Irina worked at Google as an ads SRE and an Android software engineer. And we're looking to raise a pre-seed round of 300K, of which 90% is already committed. So we're currently onboarding a few strategic investors only, and we also are looking to start conversations with seed investors for next year. Thank you.
Hey, that was wonderful. Thank you so much. Great timing as well. I can't see any questions there at the moment. Let me see if there's anyone's put anything in the chat. The audio video, I think that was previous when we were looking at Alessandro. I hope everyone's okay. If people can't hear me.
I see one that's, what's your ideal customer profile?
There we go.
Yes, so as I said, we sell to investor relations teams. We look for some key attributes on the company. So a really good attribute for us is if there's a sustainability committee or an ESG committee at the board level, that means that they already have pretty significant budget going through. And so we're always keeping an eye for that. And that means we'll have a really rapid sales call.
Amazing. How do you get the data on ESG?
Yeah, so our first customers are publicly listed companies that are being hit by regulations. So we're looking at a lot of their public reporting as well as the reporting of their key competitors. But we also have them upload internal Excel, docs, PDFs where most of the data lies. And we have a lot of email integration. So staff diversity exists in HR, then you'll do supply chains contact, and this is the strategy.
Awesome. Got a couple of minutes, or moments at the top. How long is your customer onboarding cycle?
Yeah, so we're trying to get it down to be about 2 months. Right now we're early, so we're trying to structure it all as short-term POCs with customers where we set clear KPIs because it's still very much like co-design partners. And then we're doing really heavy on educational content. So you guys should all also subscribe to my newsletter, which is really helping us from an acquisition point of view.
Fantastic. Right, everyone come and talk to Julian at the end in the conference zone. Thank you so much, Julian. We'll bring up Alessandro now. I think he's probably got his deck already. Thank you, and sorry for overstepping. I think you'll probably be ready now. I'll leave.
No problem at all. Let me just share my screen so you can actually all see it. And let's start from here. Okay, so we are Impossible Brands. We are based in Milano, the fashion capital of the world, and we are reinventing what made in Italy fashion brands look like. We believe that in 2020, a dress could be worn even if it's not real. And we see a market opportunity in the making of phygital fashion brands, which means brands that are half digital and half physical. So we know these are two apparently very distant trends. Number one, the rise of digital fashion goods, which means clothes that don't exist and yet used digitally. For example, if Fortnite, the video game, were a fashion company, it would be worth as much as Bottega Veneta, around 1.1 billion. Number two, the huge inefficiency of clothes production and waste in the world. Each American every year throws away 37 kilos worth of clothes, and globally we're talking about 92 billion tons of clothes every year. So we realized that in 2020 fashion, it doesn't make sense anymore to produce something if you have no clue whether it's going to be selling or not. So we decided to merge the two trends together, making brands that exist digitally and physically at the same time. So let's make an example about what we actually are doing. So imagine browsing on a website called sneakers.com. There we find 100 sneakers you can look at. Thing is, they don't exist. They are not real. So if you click on them, you are directed to your favorite social network, let's say Instagram, where you can try those virtual sneakers out in every story, post, or video you make, even if you don't own them and they don't exist. Some of these digital sneakers are free, some are not, and could be sold as end products themselves. And this is what we call step number one, where we just invented a brand, a fashion brand that exists only digitally. However, the filters do not have just value as end products, but rather in the information they carry. So that leads us to step number two, where we study the data the filters provide us with, and we use those data in step three to decide which products, which sneakers to make in real life, using our network of manufacturers, including the same manufacturers doing some brands such as Armani, Bottega Veneta, and Off-White, and leveraging our team that includes award-winning designers and AR artists with over 70 million impressions reached through their filters. In these ways, we make digital brands and physical data-driven brands that are much more efficient than traditional ones. On this very last slide, you find some information about our co-founders, including myself from Google, our creative director from Ellen Vogue, and our CEO coming from Oliver Wyman. About our financial round, so we are raising 1.5 million at a valuation of 10, and we closed so far 500K. And also about our traction, you can actually see our very first Impossible brand. It's called Ama. It makes real and digital handbags made in Italy. And just to sum it up, in the end, we believe that the most sustainable clothes are not the ones made in ecological cotton or sustainable materials, but rather the ones that were never produced in the first place. Thank you very much.
I love it. Thank you so much, Alessandro. That was great.
And I think my screen just froze.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
I will ask the questions then. So the top one is, how are you unique from other companies in this space?
So right now, you find lots of companies building digital products only that are end products themselves. But what we're actually doing is taking the data from digital products, sneakers as filters, bags as filters, shirts as filters, and using them to actually decide what to produce and especially what not to produce in real life, so that we make actually much more sustainable brands that produce much less physically rather than digitally.
Okay. And how is your data? Is it used to finally produce real items? I know I asked you this. Do you manufacture?
Yeah, exactly. So we actually use the data provided by the filters to decide. Let's say we actually launched 100 sneakers as filters, and we see that 2 of them have really great outstanding metrics in terms of engagement, sharing, demographics, and psychographics. We use those data to actually decide and make limited real-life collections using our network of manufacturers.
Amazing. Right. A few more questions there. Lots of interest to talk to you in the conference area. Thank you so much, Alessandro.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. So next up, we have Muddy Machines. Muddy Machines build robots, okay, for selective field vegetable harvesting, making farmers resilient to labor supply shortages. And this is being presented by Florian Richter.
Hey, Jenny,
you got your slides?
Yeah, I've got my slides. For some reason, the camera isn't on. I'm going to turn this on and off again.
Florian, if you press, screen share. I know.
There we go.
He's going to
do. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Before, but you got it working. Fantastic. I'll leave you to it.
Great. Good afternoon. Big pleasure to be here. My name is Florian, and my company is called Muddy Machines. Our robots solve the labor shortage issues on farms. So we are targeting the notoriously labor-intensive category of selectively harvested field vegetables. These are, for example, broccoli, cauliflowers, asparagus. They grow at very different rates, and you have to walk the field sometimes several times a day in order to carefully pick what is ready to harvest at that very moment and come back the next day for more. So this is a 50% of a grower's production cost, manual labor. But the problem now is that farmers no longer have sufficient access to this type of labor. This year alone, we've seen a 30% shortfall in manual labor supply. And the UK farmers, for example, are looking at a 60% shortfall next year. And some of them will just give up entirely, missing out on what is otherwise a growing market, fresh vegetables. So for us, it's an opportunity. In Europe and North America, farmers need about 1 million people every year to do this kind of work. This represents a 6.8 billion market opportunity. And we have picked green asparagus as the first vegetable to tackle because this is uniquely well suited for robotic harvesting and has a massive value per weight. We will then transfer this technology to other vegetables and other services to establish ourselves in the $20 billion global ag tech market. So here's a picture of what green asparagus in the field actually looks like. Still quite a challenge for a robot, but fortunately we have an excellent team in place in order to build such a machine. My co-founder is a seasoned robotics engineer from Dyson. I have a family farming background, and we have a very big UK farmer also on board. Our machine will replace up to 10 workers, which unlocks up to $330,000 in revenues for a grower. And we do a harvest as a service business model, which enables significant profit margin. This is a sneak peek at our machine. Come and contact me later if you want to know more. The stage we're in is we have filed our first patent for the asparagus gripper. we have a working proof of concept in the lab. We have excellent market access through our farmer, who produces and gives us access to 70% of the UK total market. We have received pre-seed investment from Entrepreneurs First, and we're now looking for a £250,000 additional round in order to unlock a £500,000 Innovate UK grant that will see us through 2021. Looking forward to your questions.
Amazing. Sorry, my mic takes a moment to switch on afterwards. So questions, we have one coming through too. Which countries do you intend to target first?
So because we have such good access here in the UK with our farming partner, John, we're going to go and develop the asparagus technology first in the UK, and then we will branch out to countries like Germany, Spain, several countries in Europe grow a significant amount of green asparagus. And also we have contacts already in the US and in Canada. And the biggest producers are Peru and Mexico. We also have contacts there already.
So we have a very popular question here. How would you address the potential negative media concerns that this may put people out of work?
The fun thing is actually that we're not displacing people. This labor is no longer actually supplied. If you speak to farmers this year, they had to charter planes to get people in to do this work. There was a Pig for Britain campaign, and our farmer told us, okay, 1,000 people applied, 7 showed up, and 2 weeks later, no one was there anymore. So we're not displacing local labor. The supply of migrant labor is declining, no matter who you ask, US, Canada, Europe, everywhere. So we're not actually displacing anyone. We're actually saving locally grown produce, which if you import it has a massive carbon footprint, like 5 times bigger than homegrown.
Amazing. Very cool. Good answer. Okay, so some more questions for the room later on. Thank you so much, Florian. We're going to move on to a company called HeyCharge. I hope they're going to be here. Basically, Chris Card. He's going to talk to you about how they deliver ultra low-cost electric vehicles and the charging for them in apartment buildings. All right.
Hello. I'm trying to get my slides up. There we go.
Okay. All right. I'll leave you to it.
Wonderful. So hi, everyone. I'm Chris Cardet. I'm the founder and CEO of HeyCharge, and we make ultra low-cost electric for apartment buildings, and we're very excited about it. It's personal for us. We bought our first electric cars home to apartment buildings and found that even with power everywhere, we couldn't charge. And what was the problem? In a word, cost. So today's solutions cost about €3,000 per parking space, and that just won't cut it for the coming wave of low-cost EV customers. So our most significant innovation is something we call Secure Charge, and this is our patent-pending technology to connect EV chargers to our software platform without an internet connection. And you'd be surprised at the number of ways in which this allows us to cut costs. So as you can see, the status quo involves numerous steps to bring up a new site, and most of these steps are tied to the internet connection. So Secure Charge allows us to cut out multiple technician visits to the site and eliminates the service cost for the internet connection. And it also turns out that most of our installations are actually underground with no internet coverage. So with Secure Charge, our users can seamlessly access their chargers from an underground garage. So we're developing a product range of Secure Charge enabled chargers. And what you see here is Access Point. This is our lowest cost design. We can deliver this for €200 to €300 depending on channel with a healthy margin. So our software product, HeyCharge Home, is already in commercial operation and works today to manage those expensive third-party chargers, but it will seamlessly take advantage of our own Secure Charge-enabled chargers next year. So tying it all together, our Secure Charge technology, our low-cost hardware, and our innovative software platform can reduce the installed cost of a property by more than 80%. So we're well into development, and here's our ultra-low-cost charger working with our app, all tied together with Secure Charge technology. And that is a light bulb, not a car, but that's because we're inside. So we're looking to raise 1.5 to 2 million euros next year in order to transition from development and pilots to scalable commercial operation. We already have a promising set of signals from the market, including B2C customers as well as utilities who wish to use our technology. And we just signed our first utility pilot LOI this week. We've also been selected for several prestigious accelerator programs and have received the EU Commission's Seal of Excellence recommending our company for public funding. So if you'd like to help us make it happen, please reach out, hello@heycharge.io, or come talk to me after the pitches. Thank you.
Brilliant, Chris. I love that pitch. So a couple of questions here. One of them very popular indeed. What camera are you using?
We've been doing so many pitches online that I bought a digital SLR and an HDMI capture card, and it totally pays off because you look great. Well, if I combed my hair, I'd look great.
And does this work with all electric cars?
Yeah, so basically our product is an electric car charger. So you have a Type 2 connector and you can plug it into any standard electric car. I should say Type 2 is for Europe. It's very easy to translate the hardware to the regional variations in the US and Asia, but we're focusing in Europe for the beginning.
Wow, you sound like you got it sewn up. Thank you so much. That was really cool.
No problem.
So this is basically the last one before our keynote. So we have In-Place Tech. And we have Nikos be talking us through the product. It's a native advertising for games company focused initially on brand takeovers of casual mobile games. Hi, Nikos.
Hi, Jenny. Thank you very much for the introduction. So, hello, everyone. I am Nikos Ioannou. And before In-Place, I was working in Google for 11 years, which is where this idea came about. So I was working in both ads and play, and I got to witness firsthand the characteristics of of the mobile games ecosystem, as well and combine that with my previous knowledge of the ad space. So mobile games represent a great opportunity for advertisers. They have a massive and diverse audience, and a lot of time is spent on them. However, non-game related brands like Coca-Cola or Unilever only spend approximately 3% of their mobile ads budget on gaming inventory. This is, of course, still billions of dollars, given the massive spend on mobile advertising. But let's see why this is not larger. The way that advertising mostly works in mobile games today is with video ads. So while the user is playing, and when there is a break in gameplay, for example, when the user passes a level, then a video ad is shown to them. This is very distracting for the gameplay, as it's clear from many reviews in the app stores. So that's not only bad for the game, but it also means that the advertising is not very effective. Let's see how advertising can be done much better with our technology. So what we're doing is it's replacing the game assets with branded versions and to have the brand message communicated through the game. So in this example, to promote the coffee chains, the candy cook becomes a coffee farmer, the star becomes a coffee bean, and so on. Let me show you how the product works. Now, here you see a typical match-3 game, which is quite similar to the hit game Candy Crush Saga. So when the user passes a level, and and they will be prompted to enable a sponsorship by a specific brand to get rid of the ads. Now, if the user agrees to that, then the graphics of the game are replaced to communicate a brand message. Now, the user does not have the distraction of the ads, and instead they're enjoying variety in their gameplay while being constantly exposed to the brand message. So when there are breaks in gameplay, like for example, when the user is passing a level, then you can also show call to actions, for example, to install a specific app. Now, this creates a new killer advertising format. You have a highly engaged audience, optional opt-in advertising, and constant interaction with a brand message. Now, to put this into perspective, not skipping an ad video is considered a key metric for measuring the success of a video ad. And here, the advertiser is built based on interaction, which is a much better deal for them. It's worth noting that in experiments we ran, most of users chose to opt in every time they were prompted. So no time to go into details, but very briefly, this hasn't been done before because it's technically difficult. That's why when we found how to do it, we applied for a patent for it. A game developer needs to integrate our SDK once without writing any code to enable brand takeovers of their games. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
Fantastic. Nikos. So this seems like it will have to be adapted from game to game. How can this be implemented across many different games?
Right. So there's two aspects on to this answer. The first thing is that the game ecosystem is very top heavy. So that means that you don't need to cover millions of games. You need to cover like 10,000 of games. The second thing is that there's a lot of, let's say, fast followers on this market, which means you have a match-3 game. When there is a successful game, essentially it becomes a genre. And then other people put different graphics, put a little twist. So that makes things transferable from games to games as it is. Now, even more than that, you can work on doing branding that is not as deep as the demo I showed, meaning you can change palettes and actually make it massively scale.
Okay. So there's one question that's been voted right to the top. So we'll make this one quick. What are you looking for funding-wise?
Right. So I'm looking for 2.5 million euros for a seed round. Yeah. I think this needs to, in order to be done, you need to have a commercial team, and you need to have a technical transferable technology. So that's why it requires quite a lot of funds.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Nikos. Good luck with it. I hope to see it on a screen near me soon. So if you can switch off your camera and mic, we now have a keynote, which I'm going to bring up. This was videoed before. We have Mike McGraw, who works with Patrick Pichet. He has done these sort of events for us before and done talks for us just to let us know how the market's changing. We wanted to get him back because, well, it's changed quite a bit this time. So I'm going to put this on. I hope it works straightforwardly. Rune is interviewing Mike, and it's about 10 minutes long. So enjoy.
Good afternoon, Mike.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I seem to be committed to doing more of these demo days. I also heard Mike there committing to help us out with them, so hopefully we can get him on board again. Super. So moving back to the startups and the pitches, we have next up a company called Gentis. Here we have Klaus Müller, who will be shaping the future of website data as the leading and patented server-side tracking solution. Hi, Klaus.
Hi, Jenny.
Have you got a bunch of slides to show for us today?
Sure.
Fantastic. Right.
Can you see my screen?
I can see lots of things. And yeah, I think you need to go to presenter mode. Yeah, that's the one. All right, I'll leave you to it. Thanks.
Good. Thanks, Jenny. Hi, my name is Klaus. I'm the founder and co-CEO of Gentis. We are reshaping the future of website data, and Gentis embodies the next generation. We are a B2B SaaS company and acting in the MarTech and legal tech space. So, what we have seen is that website data tracking is fundamentally broken. 3 reasons for that. Bad data quality, more than 30% of the data is missing. Meanwhile, we all know ad blockers, ITP from Apple Safari, cookie lifetimes, it's a mess. And AI needs data. So if you fuel bullshit in, you will get bullshit out. And last but not least, we see that we're acting meanwhile in a regulated space, GDPR, CCPA in California, Brazil, Serbia, Japan, UK, you name them. So it won't get easier. So we have reinvented it. On the left-hand side, you see how data tracking is normally done. The data is always sent from the user over to Google, Facebook, and co, which causes the problem that this is not compliant. You're losing a lot of data quality and you're lacking data sovereignty. So the website owner is having no sovereignty over the data. So on the right-hand side, you see that we have found a technical solution to get the data back from the user, and then the website operator can decide which data is sent over and how the data is sent over to Google, Facebook, and co, and we're supporting all the pixels out there. This makes it compliant, this makes the quality 100%, and brings back the full sovereignty to the website operator. And we even filed a patent for that. So we can easily prove that we can bring much more data to your Google Analytics accounts or WebTrack, whatever you use. And we are running a business model in B2B with a SaaS recurring MRR model, revenue model, where we at least generate 1K a month. And so Gentis is the next generation website data solution. We're the global #1 SaaS tool in server-side tracking to extract, own, and orchestrate 100% compliant data. And we're taking every marketing stack to a new dimension. And because it's so easy, we offer to the Xoogler community to sign up for a free trial because it's such an easy way for us to do it. So about us, we're a founder team of 5 people. We raised 1.2 million this year already, having more than 25 reference clients. And we do think big. We're opening our offices in London and San Francisco soon. Happy to take your questions now.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Klaus. I love that last slide. It's got a great picture of you and your colleagues all working together. Are they here? Are they going to be able to join us in the conference area afterwards?
Yes, some of them are actually joining this session, of course.
Fantastic. Okay, I think people are saving questions till then. Here's one. We got time for this. So does it work across different channels, web, apps, TVs, etc.?
Good question. We're focused on website traffic. We're not dealing with apps because we do not see the problems there.
Okay. And when you say opening London and San Francisco, do you mean remote for now at least?
No, we already have guys on the ground in San Francisco, and we're just about to get started in Q1 in London.
Excellent. And how do you physically increase the quality of the data?
Physically, well, we just avoid that it's going to be diluted or that the data is not sent over. So we have developed a special technology just to get the data from the client back to our twin server. And there we do a lot of magic to make sure that we can forward it to any pixels out there.
Amazing. Fantastic. Okay, we better move on to the next company. We have Chloe AI moving up. So thank you so much, Klaus. That was fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Meet him later in the conference area. Cool. So we have Chloe AI and we have Eric Lang, who will be presenting this. Chloe is an automated, intelligent, and modular automobile damage appraisal and insurance claim assistant. Eric will take you through. So you've got your slides up.
That's not right. Is this backwards for everyone?
No, it's perfect. It looks exactly right for me. It's just backwards for you.
Okay, very strange. All right, great. Thank you very much. So hi, I'm Eric, co-founder and CEO of Chloe, and I'd like to talk about car insurance. When an accident happens, time is of the essence. This is obvious when there are injuries or extensive damages, but it's also true of minor bumps and scratches. In Germany, for instance, if a driver contacts their local repair shop or an independent appraiser before they talk to their insurance agent, the cost of a claim goes up by 700%. This is because the insurance company loses the ability to influence the process or direct their drivers to workshops with which they have favorable arrangements. This reduces profitability for the insurers and increases premiums for drivers with no notable improvement in service. Appraisers are expensive and slow, and in the majority of cases, they're completely unnecessary. The average payout for damage-only claims in Europe is 1,300 euros. The cost of an appraisal is a non-trivial percentage of the total cost to settle the claim. There has to be a better way. Enter Chloe. Chloe helps insurance companies take control of the situation as soon as it happens by providing instant assessments of the damage and giving their drivers peace of mind. Chloe is completely automated, intelligent, and modular vehicle damage appraisal and claim assistant that integrates as a white label solution into insurance company apps and processes. Chloe provides web and native SDKs to collect photos and in real time identify and recognize the locations of damages on the vehicle and categorize the type and severity of those damages. Chloe then instantly generates a customized line item level invoice of repair times, replacement parts, and materials costs that can be integrated into the claims process of insurers up to and including instant cash settlement. The keys are speed and customizability. Online competitors in the market are either front ends for an army of manual appraisers who are expensive, slow, and unscalable, or pure technology solutions that are inflexible, not localized to the individual markets, or don't provide line item level invoicing. Chloe does it all. The opportunity is immense, and the EU is virtually untapped. There are 87 insurers in Germany alone, and they're currently looking for a solution to this problem. We know this because we've been talking to almost all of them. Our solution empowers up to a 30% reduction in processing costs and an overall reduction in claims expense. That represents nearly 17 billion euros in wasted money every year. We believe this to be a €1 billion opportunity and are confident we can capture 10% of it in just 5 years. Our team knows this space and knows each other. Adrian and I have worked together for the past 4 years at both Delivery Hero, where I was the CPO, and Junko, a comparison platform of car insurance policies in Germany. It's through Junko, a company which Caro and I co-founded together, that we built our relationship with the insurance industry. Our well-rounded team is experienced in all aspects of technology and product, as well as sales and business development. And this is where you come in. We're raising our pre-seed round and looking for like-minded partners that we can learn from and to join us on this journey. So I'm happy to take your questions. You can also talk to me afterward in the Chloe AI room, but I'd also like to say thanks to Jenny and the whole Xoogler team for providing us with this platform. It's been amazing. Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Eric. It was a tough thing to get my head around, but it's brilliant fun when it works. So questions for you. How long are the sales cycles to insurers?
It depends on the size of the insurer. Larger insurers take longer. We have found in our own experience with previous ones, it can take 6, 9, 12 months with larger insurers. We find the smaller insurers are much faster to work with. And those sales cycles are typically going to be about 4 months. So about a 3-month pilot period, 3-month development period and 1-month pilot period.
Excellent. And do you have initial early adopter customers?
Hopefully on Friday, we will have completed negotiations with our first customer. At this point, it's just discussing the price tag, but we think that this is will be up and ready for a January pilot.
Excellent. So early doors. Brilliant. Well, there's more questions there if people want to ask back in the conference arena at the end of the pitches. Thank you so much, Eric. That was really cool. So next up, we have a company called Xoogler. They automatically subtitle and translate content, but it still gives users control to edit. Okay, so we have Holly up here to talk us through it. How are you doing with your slides? Hi.
Is it all working? Is all clear?
Yeah, I can't see your slides yet, just your face. So if you put your slides up and get those ones through. If you press share screen.
Yeah, I've done that, present.
Because Eric was saying this tool was wonderful and it worked.
I know.
I think you jinxed it. Yeah, so press present mode and you're off. Awesome. I will leave you to it.
Thank you. Hi there, I'm Holly Stevens. I led the launches of Google Pay, Chromebooks, and Digital Garage at Google. I'm now the founder and CEO of Xoogler, and I'm going to tell you why 27,000 users decided to use Xoogler in 9 months and how we signed a deal with LinkedIn. 85% of videos are watched on mute, and when you add subtitles, it increases engagement by 80%. And it's also a legal requirement for enterprise to add them. And it's more important more than ever during COVID-19 as people move online. However, adding subtitles to video is a time-consuming, costly process, and you need the skills to do it. Xoogler is a solution. Xoogler is a SaaS platform where you simply upload a video and within seconds, the video and audio is transcribed automatically and the subtitles are added to video. We support 31 languages and it's easy to use, affordable, no skills are required, and it can be used by creators all the way to enterprises. We only launched publicly 9 months ago, and we have had exponential growth. We're now just shy of 27,000 users. All has been organic with no marketing. We're seeing a growth rate of 21% month on month. Our current monthly recurring revenue after just 2 months is £700,000, and we are expecting to hit 100,000 monthly recurring revenue by mid next year as we expand into the enterprise space. We signed a deal with LinkedIn Global, where we are their only transcription and translation partner, and they buy our service for their 6,000 enterprises. We have 300 universities and 500 enterprises already using us. The others is made up of creators and small businesses. We are ready to take over the potential $23.7 billion market for this industry alone, and this is just the beginning for Subly. We have built a community of creators and teams who choose Subly based on the product we have built around them. Subly for video is just the beginning. We will become the market leader in transcription and translation, expanding our offering into B2B enterprise and then into other verticals. We'll support other file formats to be transcribed and translated for businesses worldwide. We have raised pre-seed earlier this year and received a grant from the government. We're also in the top 2% of companies in Founder Institute. We are now raising our seed round of $750,000, and we already have 40% committed on this with the lead investor, angels, and a telecoms provider committing. This will be used on the development of the platform for enterprise and used for acquisition efforts in marketing. We are looking for investors who can see the vision, our potential, and be part of the journey. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to all your questions.
Fantastic. Thank you, Holly. Excellent. We've got a couple of questions here. What is leading the organic growth?
It's all been through our marketing efforts in terms of our content. So we've been producing blogs, vlogs, improving our SEM, SEO efforts in order to do that. And a lot of it has been referrals. So a lot of our users have just been referring it to those that might be kind of social media managers, strategists, marketers. It's just been all organic through referrals pretty much.
Excellent. Okay. And is there a pure AI angle to your transcription and translation? Or are there humans in the pipeline? If so, how does that scale?
Absolutely. So our way that we work is through using Amazon Web Services and Google in order to power that for us. But there is potential for humans to be used as well, as we are improving our accuracy, but there may be an element of that needed.
Okay. And is subtitles enough to build a yearly $100 million company?
Absolutely. We've already seen the growth potential we've got so far. And as we plan to go into other verticals as well, from healthcare to education, which we've already begun, that's where we're going to be expanding out.
Fantastic. More questions there, obviously, for the room at the end. Thank you so much, Holly. That was fantastic.
Thank you. Thanks, Jenny.
All right. So next up, we have a company called Actable. They are an AI technologies company. We have Armin here to talk to you about the no-code data science.
Hi, Jenny.
All right. Have you got slides you can put up by sharing your screen?
Yes.
I think somebody earlier on asked in chat, were we all remote? Yes, we're all remote. I think some of the investors might be making it into the city, but all of us are in our dining rooms or our bedrooms or whatever. So yeah, it's fun. Okay, looks like that's working. I'll leave you to it. All right.
Perfect. Hi, everybody. We're Actable AI with democratized advanced analytics with no-code data science. Currently, there are around 1 billion spreadsheet users in the world versus only about 5 million data scientists. Just imagine what could happen if these 1 billion users have access to advanced data science tools. That would revolutionize many industries and organizations. According to McKinsey, fast AI adopters could double their cash flow over the next decade, while non-adopters would experience significant decline. But there is a problem. The current data science tools are too complex for non-technical people and are only accessible to a handful of highly trained technical professionals. Less than 5% of workforce can use some kind of data science tools, and the rest rely on either a small number of tech people or spreadsheets without advanced data science capabilities. In fact, around 80% of data, analytics, and intelligence are currently locked in spreadsheets. This is a major bottleneck that wastes resources and slows down innovation. We turn cutting-edge AI research into enterprise-grade solutions integrated directly with Google Sheets, Excel, and other BI tools. With our no-code, easy, affordable data science tool, everyone can use advanced analytics to get maximum out of their data without relying on the tech people. Our vision is to make data science widely accessible. We offer a wide range of modern data science tools via pre-trained no-code AI and use case pipelines. We enable millions of non-technical people to accomplish their goals themselves at least 10 times faster and 15 times cheaper. Currently, we have 6 advanced data science models, and we are building more use cases based on natural language processing. This is a massive opportunity and is projected to grow at double digits over the next few years. I'm CEO of Actable AI, and my co-founder Chung is the CTO. We are really excited to democratize data science with our no-code tool and drive AI to masses. Both of us saw this problem firsthand throughout our careers, and we want to change this with no-code data science. Currently, we have over 1,000 data users, including a paying user from the University of Oxford. We are raising £200,000 to launch our product and get more traction. So if you're interested and would like to learn more, come talk to us. Thanks.
Amazing. Thank you, Armin. So I'm a little hard done by because I've spent a great tranche of my life hiring coders, very technical ones as well. You're making this too easy for people to access technology. A couple of these questions might have been from before.
Yeah.
I think they were from the last company. So is your tech unique?
Oh, yes. So the tech, so we take mostly rely on open source research, AI research, and we just take the most recent, the best available research, convert them into enterprise-grade products, and yeah, to make it super easy as Excel to use, and could be called from Excel. But in terms of the actual algorithms, everybody has the same algorithms, relatively similar.
Cool. So how do you stack against AutoML tools?
So yeah, we're not AutoML tool. We are more of a data science. So we have a lot of different things, not just AutoML, not predictive analytics. And it's not just a cloud platform that you can call it. It's can be called from Excel, can be called from Google Sheets, and a lot of other third-party tools. But yeah, bottom line is we have a lot of algorithms that are not available in AutoML, not AutoML at all.
Fantastic. Well, certainly no code is the way forward. It seems a fashionable area to be in. Certainly what users are asking for. Thank you so much, Armin. Definitely talk later in the conference area. Right now, we'll move on to Diaspo. Very different proposition altogether. Here is Harish. He's going to tell you exactly what this is all about. It's a very interesting product. Armin, if you can stop sharing your screen, then we can move Harish up. And thank you.
Can you hear me okay?
We can do. I'll leave you to it.
Great, perfect. Hi everyone, I'm Harish. I'm the founder of Diaspo. I'm British Indian. I dress very British. I speak very British. Food's the one thing that really connects me to my heritage. And it comes from older adults. My parents and grandparents, whether it was eating together or cooking together, those stories, all that knowledge, experience, and skills. Yet I felt there was a huge amount of knowledge and experience that for some reason just wasn't being passed down. And that's why Diaspo was created. We're connecting cultures and generations through shared passions. So meet Vandana. She's 63 years old. She's retired. She gets aches and pains when she's not doing anything. She needs to stay mentally active and is deeply concerned about her accumulated knowledge and experience being lost or forgotten. And then meet Linny, super passionate about food and cooking. She's craving a way to spend constructive time on something she loves. Cookbooks are flat, experiences are expensive, and cooking shows are just unrelatable. When do you have all the ingredients together? And this is Diaspo. We run live, affordable and authentic cooking experiences. And we do that by unlocking the experience and knowledge of older adults. So you can cook along live, learning heritage recipes from home cooks, meaning you can connect intergenerationally, have first-hand experience, and learn amongst a group of like minds. And in an aging population where there's 1 billion people over 60 today, there'll be 2 billion by 2050. And think about it, how much cooking have we all done in the pandemic? This is Diaspo in action. We empower and enable older adults to become online teachers while learners pay for packages or subscriptions, cooking along live, learning the steps, stories, and secrets. And this is what we've done today. We've executed thousands of experiences, have a 91 NPS. We awarded Nesta's Smart Aging Prize winner. Time Out called us the cyberspace culinary specialist. We've been featured on Sky News, BBC, Metro, Telegraph, and more. This is a team. I worked for Google, of course. I was at the tab where I saw the power of developing and creating niche communities. Anuj worked as head of ops at Echo, was an early employee at Careem, and we've gone through Zinc, the social impact incubator and accelerator. We're now raising a pre-seed round. So if that's given you food for thought, please join me in the room or send me a message. Thank you.
Food for thought. Fantastic. Thank you so much. One question I have, and please do ask any questions as well on the Q&As there. Why is it called Diaspo?
So it's designed to have an initial focus on minority cultures. So from the diaspora, I mean, today we have people from India, Pakistan, Morocco, Caribbean, and in a time where I guess we don't know loads about certain other cultures, food is one of the best mediums to connect. And so you're cooking together, but you can really learn beyond the steps, the stories and secrets.
I love how it's one of these projects that has expanded through COVID and actually been one of the solutions. So a question here, how is it monetized?
Sure, yeah, thanks, Ice. So people pay for packages, 2 classes, 4 classes, 10. And even now we have lots of people buying gift cards along with corporate events. But also we have subscription. So we have an unlimited subscription where some people are doing 20 classes a month.
Fantastic. What a great thing to give for Christmas. Great timing. Okay, thanks, Harish. We'll see you later in the conference area.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jenny and team.
Cheers. Okay, so Filmo is the next company up. Filmo is a self-therapy app that helps users build emotional resilience from the comfort of their own couch, presented by Marcus Alberg. Hi, Marcus. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Let me see if I got am I showing this correctly?
Yeah, it just takes a little moment and it usually works. Perfect. Okay, I will leave you to it.
Fantastic. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Marcus, and I'm the founder of Filmo. I'm really glad to be here today to talk about a problem in society that I believe still doesn't get the attention that it deserves, that of the ongoing mental health crisis. Filmo is a self-therapy app that helps you build emotional resilience from the comfort of your own couch. We've been in beta for the last 8 months, and more than 3,000 users have been testing our app. We're now looking to go live in the App Store by the end of this year and to start raising our pre-seed round in January. Every year, more than 60 million Americans suffer from some type of mental illness or substance abuse disorder. That's approximately 1 in 5. 1 in 5. And this crisis is still getting worse. Last year, cases rose by 6%. And that doesn't even include the impact that COVID will have, adding fuel to an already raging fire. So demand for mental health services is skyrocketing at a time when the supply is already insufficient. In the US, the number of psychiatrists is actually shrinking. Last year, almost half of the young adults in the US with a serious mental illness got no support or treatment. I'm here today because I personally suffered from burnout, depression, and the struggles of getting adequate care, despite having a fancy corporate health insurance. I was fortunate enough to get care, but the experience made me determined to do something about this travesty. I founded Filmo with a goal to make the benefits of therapy available to the millions of people who today go without, at a fraction of the cost of a single therapy session. Together with leading CBT, DBT, and ACT therapists, we've created a self-therapy app that helps users build emotional resilience and self-efficacy. And our solution is based on helping users better identify and understand their feelings, providing expert psychoeducation content to empower users to really take control of their well-being, leveraging data and our unique understanding of feelings to deliver insights to users, and over time, providing peer-to-peer and peer-to-expert support. Now, we have a lot more to do, that's clear, but we are also feeling really encouraged by the feedback that we're receiving, both from end users as well as therapists. We believe we're in a good position to accomplish our goal. We have a fantastic team in place that is personally motivated to do something about this crisis. And we believe that we have a product that is validated by our users. We plan to start raising a pre-seed round in January next year, and we're to take our solution to the next level. We all know how important this problem is. If it matters to you personally, like it does to us, reach out and let's do this together. Thank you very much for your time.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That was really and exactly on time. So thank you so much. I haven't got any questions here. Has anyone got any questions for Marcus? I think we're going to have to leave that to the conference area. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you later.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next one up is Ador. Okay, that's Michael Wadsworth who's going to come and talk to you about a company that just launched. Very exciting. It's the platform to track your house move. Hi, Michael.
Hi there.
Just a
second, just waiting for it to load. Super.
That's it. I'll leave you to it.
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Michael Wadsworth. I'm co-founder and CEO of Adore. From placing an offer on a property right the way through to moving into your new home, Adore helps you track the property transaction process with helpful hints and explainers at every stage, so movers understand and feel informed about what's going on. So the problem, communication in the house moving process is outdated. Movers still rely on emails and phone calls to keep up to date with the progress of their house move. Why in 2020 is it easier to track your Deliveroo than your house move? Why did 30% of house moves fall through in 2019? And why does it take on average 22 weeks to move? We see that this industry is ripe for modernization. To the solution, Adore brings together movers, conveyancers, and estate agents into one platform to track the progress of the entire chain of connected property transactions. For conveyancers and estate agents, by movers feeling informed and educated about the process, they receive fewer calls from worried movers, allowing them to focus their time to complete the transaction. Our business model is a per transaction model during this beta phase, but we are exploring subscriptions. In terms of transaction to date, we launched on the 9th of November and are beta testing with 2 conveyancers, their property lawyers, and 3 estate agents. Since August, we've been part of the Geovation PropTech Accelerator Program and are actively working on partnerships with the Law Society and the National Association of Estate Agents. So to close, Adore has SEIS and EIS advance assurance, and we have applied for the latest tranche of Innovate UK grant funding. Thank you very much for your time, and please come and speak to us afterwards. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Michael. We have a few questions on here. Absolutely agree with this. I moved many times since 2019, and processing is super slow. What do you think the average person will gain out of this and save time or even money?
I think the last point of that is probably the most relevant. In 2019, around £274 million was, let me just go back to my last slide, £274 million was wasted by movers where their house moves fell through. So that's an amount of money that doesn't go to moving. That's just fees that go to professional services. So that's money that immediately, if we can help reduce the amount of transactions that fail, there's money that can go back into the economy. And in terms of the time saved, I don't think it's just in terms of bringing that down from 22 weeks. I think it's also the mental time in terms of movers, like actually within their own work, if they're not thinking about, oh, what's going on with my move? Why am I having to call my conveyancer every time to find out? Being more productive at work. And I know that's going to be super difficult to try and like prove as a hypothesis, but if you see that people who are buying a house, if you've asked friends and family, like many of them will go, oh, my house move, like I don't even want to talk about it. So I think there is that opportunity there as well.
Fantastic. It's certainly a sector that's ready for disruption by users, if ever there was one. Awesome. Thanks so much, Michael. There's a couple more questions there, but they can be saved for later in the conference room. Thank you so much. So next up, we have our last presentation. This is OK Hi, and we have Timbo Drayson, who should be joining us, potentially from Kenya. So I hope he comes through. Hi, Timbo. There we go. Hopefully the Wi-Fi will work. This is a company where the mission is to enable 4 billion people without a physical address to be included. Hey, Timbo, if you can put your mic on and share your screen. Looks like it's all working perfectly. Are you in Kenya? Yeah.
Great. Hi, everyone. So at OK Hi, we're on a mission to enable the 4 without a... I'm Timbo Drayson, one of the co-founders and CEO. I was a product manager at Google for 7 years, where I led the launch of Google Maps across emerging markets and invented Chromecast with 7 patents to my name. I'm joined by a leadership team with over 20 years of startup experience, and we're backed by some of the best investors in the world. Google, the co-founder of Airbnb, and Patrick Pichette, the chairman of Twitter. Now, this is the problem we're solving. This is my address of where I am sitting here in Kenya. I have to use a set of directions and sometimes draw a map to get someone to my door. So for a delivery business in Kenya, it's really frustrating, and it takes over 3 phone calls just to get to the customer's door. Or for a financial service like a bank in Nigeria, they have to send a physical agent to someone's door to verify their address. It can take weeks and cost $5. This is a situation for 4 billion people in the world, costing the world's economy $. Now, OK Hi, we've developed a simple solution. OK Collect enables any business to collect an accurate address using a GPS point and a photo. OK Verify is our AI-powered verification system. It uses the user's phone location and their delivery history to verify they are at the address that they say they are. Together, these 2 products have created the only remote address verification solution in the world today. We've proven success in Kenya, where we've driven over 300,000 addresses and 500,000 address transactions. And we've proven impact with pilots and customers, improving the efficiency for Jumia, improving the customer experience for Uber, and reducing the cost for KFC. We're now scaling beyond Kenya through our partnership model with a partner like InterSwitch, who've also invested in OK Hi in this round. Together, our partners are giving access to hundreds of thousands of businesses, hundreds of millions of consumers across our target emerging markets in the Middle East and Africa. We charge businesses $1 for a verified address and 10 cents for a delivery address. This means we can generate $22 per user per year. That creates an opportunity just Nigeria alone of over $2.6 billion, going after a global opportunity of $52 billion. We're closing out our 2 seed rounds, where we have 1.5 million closed and actually almost in the bank. And we're looking for final investors to try and close before the end of this to help us on our mission to enable the 4 billion people without a physical address to be included. I'll discuss this further after. Thanks very much.
Amazing. Thank you, Timbo. Great pitch. So a few questions on here. How does this compare to Matt Stuttle with what 3 words? Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's a great question. The main differentiation to think about it is that we're addressing people, not places. So solutions like What 3 Words and Google Maps, they can give you an address and tell you how to get to a building, but they don't know who's inside the building. And the key differentiation about us is that we know the people and where they live, and that's how we actually create our verification technology that opens up a massive sector in the financial service space, which businesses like What 3 Words and even Google Maps do not have today.
Excellent. So how easy is the integration?
So our B2B products are simple APIs and SDKs that enable either a financial service, mobile app, or an online e-commerce business to integrate within a matter of hours. So we have online APIs and documentation, and we can go from integration to live within a day.
Fantastic. And just finally, your monetization, how's that going?
Yeah, so today we are driving some revenue but we're a traction-based business. Ultimately, it's all about how fast can we build a database of people and addresses and where they live. It's a network effects business. So if we can hit a critical mass of users and their addresses, we have this very powerful database that we can then monetize in a number of different ways. So today we're offering a lot of incentives to businesses to be able to increase, reduce the friction and increase the speed to adoption. But we expect to start driving significant revenue in the middle of next year in the run up to our Series A at the end of 2021.
Amazing, that's brilliant. Great, that's the end of our pitches. So thank you, Timbo. You'll be in the conference center for any more questions. I'm sure people will love to hear from you. I can hear crickets. My goodness. Right. If you can shut down your cell phone on our So I just want to say a bit of thanks to a couple of sponsors who have helped us along the way here. We are all volunteers, so this is all completely done in extra hours and time when we're on gardening leave, etc. People from Google always have time for each other. So the people that have been helping us this time have been a company called Landscape. Do we have Joe hanging around? If so, if he could turn on his camera and mic, and he can come and say a little bit about Landscape. This is basically a glass door for VC. It's a way to really give back to the community and make sure that using transparency, we can actually showcase which venture capital companies are strong and which ones are coming up with the money and which ones can be trusted and which ones are really going to be supportive and good for the environment. In terms of people joining it, it's free to join, so you can sign up. Please do look into it. Joe's put a lot of work into making sure that this functions well, particularly for after this event. But we'd love to see people dropping into landscape.ventures. Okay, the next one is, of course, Remo. We couldn't have done this without our tool, our platform. It's been quite fantastic. I hope that it's felt a little bit more normal and brought a bit of color and light to working at home. This space, when we go back, I think everyone will be a bit more accustomed to how it works and what it does. Just going into that in a little bit more depth, we have here on the left the elevator, so you can move up and down floors if there's too many people on the ground floor. There's table chats in each of these tables. Just double click into any of the tables. We also then have dynamic team banners. You can see their websites and a little bit about the teams if you click into them. And the bottom is the toolbar, so you'll be able to talk. Sorry, a few people have pinged me whilst these have been going on. You haven't been able to talk within this environment if you're just a guest, but you will do when everything goes across. So thank you so much for watching all these pictures. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for endeavoring to wrangle with the new technologies. If you can stay on the actual site, I will push you back into the conference room and you can talk for as long as you like with your new friends who've been pitching for you. I'll also be recording this, so we'll be able to put this out so you can have another look at it. We'll also be able to send all the details of everyone that's been participating so that you can get in touch, and hopefully we can support a lot of these teams. So thank you very much, and we'll be doing this again in Q1.